Let's see if I can hear anyone's voices. Yeah, I think I don't hear anyone else's voice on the stream, so I think we're good to go. Donnie's screwed this week. Donnie's gone back to the Williams. That's unfortunate. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Jordan and AlphaTauri. That might be interesting. Stelvin and Alpine. How is... Oh, Stel might win these. Looking at the other guys. Only one Red Bull. At the moment, anyway. Wait on people to join. It's got 16 people in. Not actually that bad. 17 people in. Let's see if races around USA and Baku turn into chaos. Probably will. For God's sake, why now? Alu's back. Alu's in an AlphaTauri as well. Still think Stel in the Alpine might take this one. Oh no, Stel's in the Haas, he just moved. Okay, that makes more sense. And Joe's probably favourite in the AlphaTauri. Ross in a Ferrari probably won't be that far off. Jack and Donnie in the Williams probably don't stand a chance they come up against Stable or Stel. Hello, I don't get to see you crash this week. That's a shame. Maybe Thursday. I'll give, with the fact that we've got 3 minutes before this all starts, I'm going to put some football on in the background. Wait, just waiting for everyone to get going. Not really a lot. Are we actually going early for once? It's only 58. Everyone's readying up. We might actually be going before 8 o'clock. Well, here we go. USA first and Baku later on. We probably might not have any rain races today. I said that. Watch them both be rain again. We had that last week. Just waiting for people's games to load up. Then we should be good. We're just waiting on Staber now. Oh, 1 second, one or two. It's one-shot qualifying, so should be pretty quickly done before we actually get into the race. Let's see if the starts actually function better than GT did at the weekend. Actually find out where the hell everything going. Well, there we go. Oh, let's watch Jack. Let's watch Jack on this qualifying lap. So, track map, full track, lap data doesn't need to be enabled. I'll switch telemetry on for qualifying. So it's Jack separating both of the horses. Well, it was Jack separating both the horses, still in 13th. Luke in the Mercedes is currently first. He's probably recovering from how bad his week was last week. He was at one point. Donnie in 15th. Joe's in second at the moment. Adam Millsy, new guy in sprint. Heading toward the front. Truco being that far up in the Red Bull, or would that far up in the Red Bull, might cause problems for people. Goes all the way up into 8th gear on the straight. The back straight at Kota is Jack, currently sat 11th. Boomer's in second. Jack's dropped to 14th, and the Williams guys are having a fun time with this. Joe is currently in first. I said this at the beginning of the stream, and Joe would be one to watch today in this AlphaTauri compared to the cars everyone else has got. Boomer currently second, Truco third, followed by both the Ferrari guys. Into the last couple of corners of the lap. One-shot qualifying, Joe coming through the final corner. And round the final corner, and Joe is on pole by just shy of 0.3 of a second. Ross currently sat second. Millsy will start third. Truco fourth. Boomer fifth. Luke sixth in the Mercedes. Could do better. See where everyone else is when it comes to the screen here. So the William, after sixth, Luke in sixth, you had Jack in seventh. And then both the Haas guys 8th and 9th, Staber 8th, Stell 9th, then both Alfa Romeo, Twanak and Swen. Weren't the greatest of days for the Aston Martins or Donnie, who's in 15th, playing too much FIFA today by the looks of it. Alu in 16th. Unnecessary slander, but it's worth it. This is what we do here. For God's sake. 25 seconds off the start of the race. We'll get to see yeah, I'd shot to this. I thought the goalkeeper. Oh, that one. Keep on you. Hello. Yeah, my left. Wait, actually. Ah, too late for me to switch it over to the football, to the Everton game. Good idea, innit? Drive through for Alu off the start. It looked like it's lights out and away we go. Somebody's hit a wall, though. One of the Haas hit a wall straight away. Joe's going to have the lead into turn one. Mills going to have second for momentary place there. And then I actually did get it, it's just I got the wrong Ferraris. Ross dropped to 3rd, Truco in 4th, Staber in 5th. Looks like it might have been Stell the one that hit the wall. I'm not too sure, way up there. Couple of guys going too wide after the S's there. Boomer is closing in on Jack in front of him, on Luke in front of him, sorry, and has to defend from Jack further behind. Boomer's going to look for a move here. To the inside, doesn't get it, but just about gets away with keeping the position from Jack, who might have looked for one himself there. Down the grid, you've got Reaper and Robin, 15th and 16th, fighting out through the straight. Aston Martin not being too quick around here. Ross and Adam trading positions on lap 1. These two going from second and third, and then handing the positions back by the end of the lap. And it looked like Adam's got to defend from Truco here in the Red Bull. As he is going around the third to last now. Robin and Reaper are still going at it as they are exchanging 15th place at the moment. Donnie's... Oh, Alu's in the pit, so Alu's serving his drive-through. And Donnie and Swen are going to go at it, up into turn 1. Donnie's following the slipstream. Going to have to get to the outside, see if he can go around Swen. And he doesn't get it done. There's a bit of wheel banging there as well. Donnie almost spinning out the result. But he's managed to save it, stayed in 12th for the time being. Going for the S is going to be right on the back of Swen again. The soft tyres versus the medium tyres. Looks like 4 went on the mediums, and the only one not in the bottom 3 is Swen. So Donnie is about a quarter second back on Swen here, not able to make any sort of move work. Might do through the straight here with slipstream and faster tyres. Staber and Luke going at it. It looked like Luke got past and got very much clear into the end of the straight. He takes 5th place off of Staber. Looked like Ross is half a second back on Joe, and then Adam a second off of Ross, so when DRS gets enabled at the end of the lap. It looked like Ross is going to be able to clear a gap. Donnie and Swen finally actually having an overtake between the two of them. Donnie gets past. It looked like he squeezed Swen off track momentarily there. Major now having a fight with Swen as one of the Aston Martins is putting up a fight. He's also been attacked from behind by Robin. It looked like Boomer and Staber going at it now into turn 1. Staber is going to have to defend to the outside. Looks for a switchback possibly, but he doesn't have enough pace on the exit in that Haas to get that done. So Boomer's going to take 6th position off Staber, and Staber's now going to defend from Jack behind him, and Stell even further behind Jack. Donnie gets the first 3-second time penalty for track limits in this race on lap 3. Going down the grid, the closest battles is the one between Robin and Major at the moment. Let's have a look at the one between Ross and Joe with DRS here. It looked like Joe is going to get overtaken here by Ross. Ross gets that move done nice and early and takes 1st position. Out of the back straight into sector 3. It looked like Major and Swen are fighting. And it looked like Swen's going to hold that position. Trying to get this 3-second time penalty. Major just hit the back of Swen there. Even take much of a chance of braking there whatsoever. And hasn't even got past Swen as a result. And it looked like Robin is trying his best to take a shot here. It looked like it was closed off by Major in the last couple of corners, and it isn't closed off now. And down the inside comes Robin. Not sure if he's got any space there on the inside. He's certainly almost hit a wall, and Major, a little bit of a collision there, has not been able to do an off. Has kept the position, but at what cost? It looks like 3 seconds worth of time penalties for Truco there. Staber's dropped another position as Jack gets in front of him now. It looks like he's fallen right back into the grasp of Stell. Reaper gets 3 seconds worth of time penalties today. For the first time anyway. Not sure if that'll be the last. And then Robin gets 3, and it seems that all of the back markers, or the bottom 7 or 8, all seem to be getting penalties one by one at the moment. Let's have a look at what Joe's doing with DRS. Is he going to be able to get close enough to Ross? He is not. Millsy's just got down the inside of Joe. It looked like there was a bit of a collision there. Millsy got 3 seconds worth of penalties as a result. It looked like Twanak and Stell just lost positions. Major just got in front of Swen. And they look like the Aston Martin of Reapers fighting. And now Robin is going to fight Swen as well, as Swen just had a bad lap. As he just lost quite a number of positions. Twanak lost a position to Donny as well. Adam is the closest one on track, or he was when I said that. Robin right beside... Twanak's got 10 seconds worth of penalties for corner cutting, so Donny's got that position back, and Twanak's just gained another 10 seconds. Currently got 13 seconds worth of penalties on lap 5 of 14 lap race. Interesting strategy. Let's see how that one works out for him. Staber gets 3 seconds worth of time penalties. It's just penalties for everyone at this point. Half the lobby already has them. Adam's 4 tenths of a second behind Joe. With DRS, probably not going to help him an awful lot, as Joe's going to get DRS on Ross here as well. Both the Ferraris quite high up. See if DRS is going to help here. Truco with DRS as well is in the Red Bull, definitely a faster car. Whether or not he's able to do an awful lot is a question we're about to find out the answer to. It looked like he just backed out of sending it on the outside of Adam there. Stell and Staber just have their positions reversed, as Stell has got in front of Staber. At the end of the straight, Staber getting right up to the back of Stell and looks for an overtake. But around the outside of here, he doesn't really stand much of a chance. Almost hits into the back of Stell. In the meantime, Staber is still hanging into the back of Stell's horse here. And it looked like Adam and Joe... Well, never mind. Adam's coming into the pit, so there's no battle there. Truco's going to try and make inroads into that gap. Be now a second back, and Joe... with DRS, almost had enough for a move. A couple of guys going to pit there. Twanak came in, and so did Robin. Joe 2 tenths of a second now behind Ross in first, as these two are going to go at it for a good chunk of what's left to come. Now Truco gets 3 seconds worth of penalties. He's on 6 at the moment. Twanak and Robin still in the pits, both right at the back. Alu currently on the back of the people who haven't pitted yet. The 5 lap tall mediums there on his car. Only had three pit stops at the moment. 2 tenths of a second. Here we go. You get a nice camera angle of Joe coming up the inside there of Ross, and he does get the position into the beginning of the 3rd sector. And it looks like Joe has retaken the lead. Ross not going to put an awful lot of fight back into that yet. Might do when he gets into DRS at the end of the lap. Now Truco has cut the gap down from 4 tenths of a second all the way down to less than half a second. Stell about half a second back on Jack in front of him, who's 4 seconds back on Boomer. Reaper 9 tenths of a second. And Luke just got 3 seconds worth of time penalties for track limits. Joe's coming to pit. Truco, Luke and Boomer all follow him. Ross is the only one that stays out from the top 5. Looks like Jack and Stell are going to follow in Ross's footsteps as Donny comes into pit, and so does Staber. It looks like Stell is not able to get close enough to make a move on Jack yet. Lap 7 of 14. A couple of guys should be coming into pit soon enough. Some might be looking to extend their soft runs, so they spend less time on mediums, but that's wait to be question to be answered later on. It looked like Truco got past Adam. The overcut, sorry, has worked there for the Red Bull. The undercut has possibly screwed Adam as Truco gets past Noof here. Joe gets past Reaper. As Reaper still has to pit. Jack and Stell going at it. Stell gets the move into the corner. It's the beginning of Sector 3, and Stell actually isn't actually second. Starts to pit in a lap or so's time, but not going to complain at taking the position off Jack. It looked like Truco just got past Sven, and Adam got past Noof at the same time. The yellow flag in Sector 2 and yellow flag in yellow 2 is, I can't speak, Sector 2 and Sector 3. Not actually sure who's causing it. Know if anyone's actually lost a front wing or anything back there, but it looks like Ross, Stell and Jack have all come into pit now. The guys on the mediums are going to stay out, plus Major. There we go. Joe on Major for the lead of the race. And Joe's going to get it done into turn 1. And Joe takes the lead back. He would have been in the lead anyway once Major came into pit, but he is for sure now. 3-second time penalties for Robin, Reaper, Alu and Noof all come in as well. Adam 0.2 of a second behind Sven at the moment. We'll watch this little battle going on. Twinak gets 3 more seconds. His time is now 16 seconds worth of penalties. He's going to have to watch himself because he can't be that far away from being disqualified. Ross 0.3 of a second now behind Major, who has DRS, but the fresh tyres are going to kill him off here. And Ross is going to go into the corner on the inside. He's going to get the position as well. It looks like Sven and Luke going at it. Luke's going to get past Sven on the inside of the first corner, Sector 3. Leads him over to the Ferrari having a shot as well. The Ferrari on the outside clips the Alfa Romeo. And he doesn't get by. He hasn't got by yet, but he's going to brake a little bit later into the next one and does get the position off of Sven. 3 more seconds for Reaper, as he's now on 6 seconds worth of penalties. Truco and Major having a bit of a battle. Major and Sven both coming into pit. I believe they might be the last of the pit stops in this race on lap 9. Adam had an awful first corner in his attempt to try and catch up with Luke. It leads him very open to Boomer behind him through the S's. Here we go. Boomer able to do anything here, or is he just going to drop off? Looks like he's dropped off to within about 0.4, nearly half a second. And yeah, Boomer's not able to make anything work there. Alu gets in front of Major. It means he's in front of both of the Aston Martins at the moment in time. Boomer 0.4 of a second. DRS should help him out majorly here. Donny getting DRS as well should be able to make something work on Stell. Getting an awful camera angle of Boomer's overtake on Adam. And Boomer takes 5th off of Adam there. Adam's now going to have to sit behind till the end of the lap where he gets DRS. Donny with DRS going to send one down the inside. And he outbrakes himself by a country mile. The Stell's going to take that position back. That's a really, really late break there from Donny. Thank God that Stell is alert to what was going on there. Might have had a first crashes of the day. Adam 0.4 of a second. This 0.8 of a second battle. And Robin and Twinak the only battle left on the grid at the moment. Everyone getting penalties like they're going out of fashion. Currently only 8 people here without a penalty, less than half the lobby. Adam 0.6 of a second behind Boomer is not able to really close that gap in at all. Alu gets fastest lap. Robin does get Twinak though. into turn 1, gets it done before turn 1 with DRS. Alu trying to go around the outside of Twanak, and Twanak's got on the grass. It's going to allow Alu through, and Alu's going to take 12th place off of Twanak on track and leaves him half a second behind Robin. Adam currently 5/10 back, and oh, he's got an awful exit on that corner. Almost goes into the wall, manages to save it, and now loses a hell of a lot of time to Bouma. It looked like Sven picked up 3 seconds during all that. It's another one out of everyone that has a time penalty. Still 6/10 of a second, the second closest gap we have on the grid. Alu with the DRS is going to make quick work of Robin here. Yep, he got a decent gap into the corner as well. Should be fairly straightforward for Alu. He just tries to catch up. Oh, Luke's retired for the session. What has happened here? See if we can find out what Luke's done. Oh, he's in the wall there. I got it ghosted. There's a virtual safety car out. Second to last corner, it looked like he just slid so much that he couldn't actually save the car and just crashed into the second to last. So there goes one of the Mercedes to the bottom of the pile. Gains everyone that was behind him a position. Boom up to 4th. Adam up to 5th. Still, the virtual safety car being out is helping Joe stay in the lead for as long as possible. Noof gets 3 seconds under the virtual safety car. There's a drive-through for Noof as he just didn't listen or look at his delta. And everyone, DRS has been enabled, so we're going again. It's 2 seconds now between Joe and Ross, as Ross is probably caught sleeping with that virtual safety car. Adam about 6/10 of a second back on Bouma. Doesn't have DRS himself, so in the next couple of laps that could get interesting. El Truco 9/10 of a second behind Ross. But his 6 seconds worth of penalties are going to drop him a decent way down the board. Down the back of the grid, you've got 4/10 of a second between Twanak and Major. 16 seconds worth of penalties is going to hinder Twanak, probably put him almost all the way at the back. Oh, almost a spin there. Sven hits the back wheel of Major's car. Reaper got on through, and it's almost catastrophic for Major. Oh, Reaper tried something on the Alfa Romeo before I switched off there. Looked like he tried to the outside and just got absolutely bullied. He's going to get round the inside there of Twanak. And he's been spun out! Twanak's lost the car, and Reaper's just been sent all the way across the second to last. And Reaper is going to all the way to the back now. Well, minus Noof, who still has Noof's got a drive-through, so he won't be all the way to the back. So Reaper not having the greatest of times. What's happened to Reaper? He is spun again. Alu 1/10 of a second now between him and Donny. It's 4/10 of a second between Adam and Bouma up in 4th. Reaper suffering the consequences of Twanak's, well, bunch of mistakes for today as he just tops the day off. Twanak gets another 3 seconds, so he's on 19 seconds worth of penalties. How has he not been disqualified by this point? Alu's got 2 DRS and is 2/10 of a second behind Donny, and he's going to go for it here. The AlphaTauri is going to get past. It's on soft tyres. It's got a lot of pace. He's going to take 9th off Donny there. Like El Truco, 7/10 of a second behind Ross. Not able to get close enough. Adam loses 3/10 of a second through the final sector here. And Stell is about 8/10 of a second off the back of his Haas teammate for tonight. Major 4/10 of a second. Robin gets another 3 seconds worth of time penalties, and time penalties have just been flung about here. El Truco 5/10 of a second back. With DRS is not going to be able to do an awful lot. Stell got within half a second, but it's Just not quite quick enough to take advantage of his teammate. Neither is Major on Sven. And Reaper gets another 3 seconds worth of time penalties as his race has just gone from bad to worse. Truco 0.5 of a second down on Ross. Here we go, DRS. Is he going to send anything into the corner? He is. He's going to get done before the corner even, and Boomer's going to have quite the distance between him and Adam for fourth place. Ross is 0.3 of a second behind Truco. Twanak gets another 3 seconds. He's now on 22. What on earth is he doing? Stell and Stabers, it looks like Stell finally got past, cuts the corner entirely. Alu's going to follow in Stell's footsteps and cut the corner and get the advantage on Staber as well, as he looks to separate the two Haas drivers at the moment. Maybe look to get in front of Stell in the Haas as well. Ross 0.6 of a second behind Truco. Is not able to make anything work into turn one. Looks like he had a better line, but Truco's just got a better car. Adam 0.4 off of, well, nearly half a second, sorry, off of Boomer. Has not been able to force anything either. Alu finally gets in front of Stell. They're going to go too wide into turn one. And it looks like Alu's going to get the better of that battle. He does, and he does get in front of Stell. Penalties probably won't help him, but he's going to get in front of him on track anyway. You got Ross 9.5 behind Truco. 6 seconds of penalties mean that it's not going to matter at all. And Ross with DRS is not going to get anywhere near enough, close enough to make anything happen here. Going to get within about 0.7 if he's lucky. Adam losing a bunch of time there on Boomer as well. He only gets within 0.6 of a second. And Joe's coming around the final couple of corners for the final time. We're on lap 14 here. It looks like Stell's not able to do enough to catch up on Alu on the final time around that back straight. And here comes Joe through the second to last. Joe coming through the last now. He makes the corner and he's going to come over the line, and Joe is going to win in America. And it looks like Ross is going to come over in second. Truco in fourth in the end, as Boomer's going to steal that last podium place. Truco fourth. Mills is going to come over in fifth. Jack is going to come over in sixth, 11 seconds off the pace. So the yellow flag in sector 3, and it looks like Robin's just DNF'd. Stell's going to come over in 7th, Alu in 8th, Staber 9th, Donny 10th. Sven's going to get 11th. Major is Major going to get... No, Major's going to get 11th. Sven's going to get 12th. By the smallest of margins, Twanak's got 22 seconds off of his of penalties to hand out. Robin crashed on the second to last corner, just goes into the pit lane. As 22 seconds, I don't actually think it's going to make any difference to where Twanak actually finishes in the end. As Reaper's going to come over in 14th with his 9 seconds worth of penalties. Oh no, he does beat Twanak. Beats him by 1.5 seconds. Noof is going to come over. I think that was last. Didn't quite see that at the end there. Well, that is the end of race 1 for the night. Alu gets driver of the day. Did have a pretty good drive. Think I would have to yeah, no, I think I'm with the game actually, giving that to Alu. Minus 3 second penalty, didn't really step a foot wrong. Everyone else just kind of stuck to their own race. Got a couple of positions here and there. But Boom is going to be happy and impressed that he just stole that last podium spot off Truco. Those two are in a pie right now. I can't imagine the thing between them two. Joe gets first, Ross second. AlphaTauri followed by a Ferrari. Would expect Ross to put on a good showing in that Ferrari. It's not exactly the worst car I've ever seen. I'm going to Baku next. We're going at 35. Right then. We've got a couple of minutes to go before, well, actually we've got 5 minutes to go before we go to see how many people crash out in Baku. Actually, that first race wasn't actually that bad. Only major incident that was there was Twanak completely wiping Reaper out. Everyone else kind of ran their own race in a better way. Alright then. Not an awful lot can go on. I'm just gonna watch we're just gonna keep an eye on what football's on. No track penalties here. I'm pretty sure if you give people a way to find track penalties, they will find it. 100% there's gonna be track penalties here. They're probably not going to be as prevalent as they were in America, because they were just flying around, but penalties probably still will be given out quite frequently around here. Either that or, as the guy said, just into a wall, one of the two. I am very much. We only had 2 DNFs in the USA race. I am very much expecting more than 2 here. We go at 35, so he's still got 3 minutes. So what's the? Is it still 1-0 Villarreal, Rachel? Castle section drama. If there's anything like Tier 1 when they were Baku, yeah, you probably would expect it. Staber in the wall. Didn't thought he was ghosted. Started driving, didn't ghost, and Joe hit him. Funny enough, they're both in this race as well. I don't think they'll be anywhere near each other though, because one's an Alpha Tower and the other one's a Haas, but that's beside the point. Got 2 minutes until we go. Bournemouth Forest is still 0-0, by the way. That's what I've put on, the football I've put on. I want Bournemouth to score here. Just get rid of... People already starting to ready up for no reason. I'm one of that guy said castle section drama. I'm almost expecting turn 1 drama, that's for sure. Somebody's gonna miss the breaking point of turn 1. Like, that always happens. Always happens in Azerbaijan. You go into turn 1, somebody misses the break point, somebody gets wiped out. Should be about... No, we're about to go then. Here we go. Here we go. Everyone's readied up. We're about to go into the race at Baku, one-shot qualifying, then I think it's like 17 laps around here. You gotta wait another 30 seconds actually before you can go into qualifying. Apparently it takes forever to load. Got 4 more seconds until we get actually into the lobby. That looks like bright, bright sunshine here. So we're not getting any rain in qualifying at Baku. Should be interesting to see if we get rain in the actual race itself. It would be quite something to get rain in this. It would make turn 1 even worse. Alright, here we go again. Looks like Ross is going to be able to actually take turn 1 normally. He's going to be able to take it normally here. Whether or not people mess up turn 1 the race is a different question. He's only in 12th at the moment. You would expect Ross to be a bit quicker in this Ferrari. It looks like it's the Red Bull and the Mercedes guys are actually enjoying that. Noose retired from the session. It looks like Joe's right at the front. It looks like Ross is slowly but climbing up the grid here. It's in 8th right now, up to 7th. Luke and El Truco currently dominating the one-shot qualifying proceedings at the moment. Alu and then you've got Robin in 4th. It looks like Joe's invalidated lap because he would definitely not be 16th. Like Twanak and Reaper and Major not enjoying their day. Boomer in 12th, Staber 11th, Donny 10th. Stella 6th, Adam 5th, Robin 4th, Truco 2nd. And it's Luke's going to come over the line in the Mercedes and is not going to be on pole because Truco stealed it right at the end. Truco is on pole by a couple of tenths. That's a sentence I didn't think I'd be saying. Truco on pole by 2/10 of a second. Luke only just beating out Alu in the end. Ross in 4th, Stell in 5th, Jack 6th. Robin in 7th, Adam 8th, which is a bit worse than the qualifying he did in America. Boomer in 9th on the medium. Tyres should be set up very nicely for the race. But he is very much in the thick of things. If someone else goes wrong, he might be in trouble. Swen in 10th, Donny 11th, Staber 12th, Major 13th, 14th is Reaper, and Twanak is the only one slower to actually set a time. And yeah, Looks like it's a dry race as well. That's a foul. Free kick to Bournemouth right on the edge of the box. Here we go. That's 5 red lights. As lights out, away we go. Truco started on pole. Doesn't look like he's got the greatest start in the world. Alu has. Luke dives into the first corner there and almost caused a bit of a pile up. It looked like Stell into the second corner span after being hit by the AlphaTauri. And Stell is now last as Alu gets up into second. The contact there between Alu and Stell might just have been a bit of a racing incident, but I think that might be one to go to stewards. It looked like Alu's got up to second, Luke in third. He didn't get the... Come on, Villarreal. Sven and Robin are fighting here. Down into the last corner before Castle, and Sven has just cut that corner entirely and has got in front, and it's 1-0 Bournemouth. At the same time, Adam is 0.3 of a second, less than 0.3 of a second now between him and Luke. And into the first corner of sector, well, actually the final corner of sector 2, it doesn't look like he's going to threaten Luke all that much. Jack is going to try and threaten Ross though with his Williams, which is probably not going to end up too well for Jack. Down the grid, you've got Twanak 0.2 of a second behind Staber in the one in the Alfa Romeo, the other one in the Haas. Boomer and Robin going at each other. It looks like Boomer's got in front there. He's going to hunt down Swen now. Truco is setting the fastest lap of the race. Obviously, it's the first one. Joe getting in front. Joe just going to go right through the field. He's going to cut through this field. Boomer about 0.3 of a second, 0.4 of a second now off Swen. And we've actually had less crashes than I thought you would in the first couple of laps. A couple of people have gone into the pits there because of damage. It doesn't look like Stealth one of them. And Joe gets past Donny now. As Joe is, so does Staber, as Joe is just going to climb his way back through this field after a horrible qualifying where he didn't get the time on the board. Alu 0.9 of a second back on Truco, which we might get to see an interesting battle between the two of them in this race, because Truco is just a brick wall. Trying to pass is not easy. It's going to be made even harder by the fact that one's in a Red Bull, the other one in an AlphaTauri. Everyone about half a second away. There's not actually a lot of anything happening here. Everyone just seems to be in their own little one-on-one battles, especially the top 9. No one really making inroads into the time at all. Looks like Stell got in front of Noof. Into the third to last. A couple of guys now joining in what might have been a DRS train at the end of this lap. Alu's got within 0.75 of a second. DRS now enabled for the next straight. There's Swen and Boomer going alongside each other into turn 2 they go. Swen's going to have the inside and there's no switchback available there to Boomer, and he's just going to try and get in with the DRS down this straight, which he does quite easily and takes 7th position back. He negotiated the first sector of that lap rather well. It's about 6.5 of a second now for the battle of the lead. And 5.58 separates Truco and Alu. It did at that corner when I said it. Up into Castle they go. Truco It's far slower than Alu through that corner, and Alu has just gained a couple of tenths just through Castle on his own. It looks like Joe has finally caught up to the back of Sven, and well, Joe has been flying this entire race. It wouldn't be a surprise if he's able to make a move before the next corner. Gonna line it up anyway. They're gonna go too wide or not. Sven's just gonna come back over and cut him off. And Joe's just gonna hang on until the final straight and get Sven back there and then. DRS is gonna be there for Alu when they come around the corner. Is he gonna be able to hunt down El Truco here? Into the first corner. The yellow flag in Sector 2 for an Aston Martin parked on the road. It's Reaper. And it looked like Joe finally got in front of Sven. And it looked like Alu did not get anywhere near Truco in that one. It looked like Luke and Adam were having a bit of a battle with DRS. Couple here as well. Joe got in front of Sven on the straight. And it looked like he's just going to try and charge down Boomer now, as he's been charging down everyone else in the rest of the field for the first 4 laps. So the yellow flag in Sector 2 and Reaper's retired from the race. And Boomer 4/10 of a second behind Jack now, as the McLaren seems to be flying as much as that AlphaTauri is. It's 2/10 of a second between Truco and Alu. 3.5 tenths of a second between Staber and Sven, who just got out of DRS on Joe. So all of a sudden gone back up to 6/10 of a second between Alu and El Truco. That gap seems to be opening and shortening through the corners, and El Truco has a superior car. It's going to help him out. Boomer 2.5 tenths. Especially into the straight, that's going to be advantage Boomer. 1.5 tenths now. He doesn't, at this point, he might not even need DRS. With the slipstream alone, he should get him. He's going to try it around the outside. He might have just hit a wall there. Either way, he's going to get in front. El Truco comes into the pits and allows Alu to be in the lead of the race momentarily. Let's see if the undercut works. Adam stayed out. Boomer and Jack have stayed out as well. A good time to see what tyres everyone's on as Truco goes onto the mediums. A few guys towards the front started on mediums. They'll go to softs eventually. The Ferrari of Ross is just not having a nice time. He's just gone into a pits by the looks of it. He's currently sat 11th. Boomer now needs to try and chase down Adam. Adam's just not closing into that 4.5 second gap that currently resides between him and Alu at the front. Joe is 0.5 second off of Jack, and he looks like he is just successfully charging down every single person in the lobby. Started from the back, -1, I'm pretty sure. And is currently sat in 5th place. It's 0.4 of a second now between Joe and Jack. Four tenths of a second. We might get DRS help here for Joe on Jack. The AlphaTauri is definitely quicker. Whether or not DRS is going to be able to help him pass. DRS is still going to be there for Jack on Boomer in front of him. He's not going to need DRS at this rate, Joe, and he's going to get past just as we hit the DRS line, and it looked like Jack didn't get DRS either, and he's just going to have to sit behind Joe now as Joe gets up into 3rd after Adam pits. And it's now time for Joe to try and track down Boomer, who currently is 6 seconds off the back of Alu. Truco currently a race leader. The pit lane is not the longest, not the shortest either here. It's whether or not see how well the undercut has actually worked. Whether or not Truco has got the strategy right or not. If not, Alu might have this one in the bag. Joe within DRS range now of Bouma, and if Boomer's going to keep doing corners poorly like he just did the last one, Joe's going to take advantage of that very quickly. If Joe hits second, then some of the guys toward the front of the race might start to have problems holding him back. For half a second at the moment between Joe and Bouma. The DRS, when you get down into the final straight, will definitely give Joe the position if he doesn't do it before. Looking down the grid, you've got Adam 0.3 of a second back on Ross. When they get into DRS, that should be a clean move to make. The closest guys outside of that are both the Haas of Staver, Robin and Major. It's 3 of the back 4 after Reaper's DNF. We'll watch this one and then we'll see if Adam can make something work. Joe on Bouma. Is he going to try and send something into turn 1? He's going to. Alu comes into pit and Joe is going to get in front momentarily. Watch Ross and Adam here. Looks like Joe and Bouma are going at it still, actually. It looks like Joe's got DRS and finally got in front. Adam got in front of Ross, but the 2 Ferraris are going to go at it now. Going to go side by side into turn 2. They're going to give each other enough space. Looks like Adam gets in front. Whether or not he gave Ross enough space, they both got through unscathed, so I guess that's good enough. After the pits, it looked like El Truco has a 1.9 second gap on Alu, which means the undercut doesn't work here. Either that or Alu left it too long for the undercut to work. So El Truco definitely has a commanding position in this race now. Bearing in mind the front 3 all have to pit before the end. Jack also about 0.2 of a second there off of Noof. Noof still has to pit, so it won't take Jack too long before he eventually gets in front. So you'd be interested to see when these soft runners actually come into pit. He's not going to make anything work on the Mercedes into the last corner of Sector 2. Down the hill we go. DRS should probably help him out at the end of the lap. Bouma is going to get him. Boom. Oh, Joe's coming to pit. Well, that made me try to start up the board pointless. In comes Donny as well. Noof and Jack are going to go at it. Whether or not Noof comes into the pit here is a different question. Noof had already stopped. He has, or he hasn't stopped, no. And in comes Jack to the inside. And Jack is going to get him on the inside there of turn 1. And that's a nice move. That is nicely done. As Jack is behind Joe. As Joe is actually currently sat probably 6th in the actual race. And on fresh softs, he tries to hunt down both the Ferraris and possibly Luke as well. Don't know if he has enough time to get a podium. Nobody has a penalty yet. We have 1 DNF and no penalties. Currently in lap 8 of 13. He's about 1.1 seconds now behind Ross. And here we go. Joe will get DRS at the end of the lap. And if he gets DRS, then he should get Ross soon enough. And with about half a second, 6 tenths now between the two of them, that's only going to come down as we go through the last couple of corners. Joe's now within 0.3 of a second. DRS hasn't even been activated yet. He's going to get him well before DRS by the looks of it. If not, well before he's going to get him on the line with DRS. And he's got him now. As Ross is just going to have to sit behind him. And Joe is going to have to go at some pace here to catch up. Boomer's now behind of both of them. Noof comes into pit and allows Swen to move up to 9th. Joe 1.9 seconds, now 2 seconds off of Adam in fourth with 4 laps to go. He's about 3-4 seconds off of a podium. Alu and Truco are going at it. It's now within a second, so DRS will be involved in that battle with 4 laps left. Truco got the benefit of the undercut, not actually, the undercut being powerful actually here. Truco came in first. And Alu is half a second now. But the yellow flag in sector 2. It looked like there's a wing at the end of castle. Luke has crashed. I can't actually see Luke's car. He's backwards in castle. And that's another position there for Joe as his quest for a podium continues on. His qualifying didn't put him in a good place, and he might still get on the podium anyway on what's been a dominating day for the AlphaTauri. Now Alu with DRS might be able to make something work into turn 1. He's going to try it. He's going to try and get it done before turn 1. He's got it done to the inside, but he's gone deep into the corner. It's allowed Truco to get back. And now Truco on the inside of turn 2 has got the position. Kept first by Alu with DRS as his fuck up might have been able to save him here. And they're going to go too wide into turn 3, and it looked like Alu finally had the position. Truco held on for 10 laps. The qualifying on pole, not been able to do an awful lot. Luke's race has just collapsed in on itself. He's currently sat 15th. Now 7/10 of a second between Truco and Alu now. And about 0.8 of a second between Adam and Joe, as Joe finally did get it. And Joe is now 2 seconds behind Truco, as we might still be on the cards for an AlphaTauri 1-2. And just on a side note, Bournemouth are in the Premier League. Boomer 0.3 of a second, now 0.4 of a second behind Ross. And it looks like Boomer's gone incredibly deep into that corner. First corner of sector 3, and Boomer might have just cost himself a shot at Ross here. Joe now 1.7 seconds off the back of Truco, and he's got 3 laps to try and make something work there. It's a 1/4 of a second, here we go. Boomer on Ross, and Boomer had that position done nice and early. And Boomer's moved up into 5th, albeit going deep into the following corner. It's 0.3 of a second now between Ross and Boomer. And Ross, you would expect Ross to come back immediately with DRS. The soft should be too much to handle for Ross at this point. Joe now 1.1 seconds, and Truco is falling rapidly off the pace of first. Definitely on the off the pace. He might have his second taken off him at this point as well. 2 laps left of the race. Ross 0.9 of a second now behind Boomer. Staber comes into pit one more time. As, the back of this grid has not enjoyed their time around Baku. Stell never recovered from his spin on lap 1 after his incident with Alu. It's 2 seconds now between Joe and Truco, Alu and Truco, sorry. And Joe is closing in on the back. 0.8 of a second now between the person in second, El Truco in the Red Bull, and the AlphaTauri of Joe in third. Everyone else outside of Staber is outside of DRS, so this is the battle we'll continue to focus on. And we're about to see whether or not Joe is able to make the soft tire advantage and DRS work for him. If he doesn't, he'll definitely do it into the next straight. Gonna look for it here, but he's just too far back to make that stick. He's going to stick in third until the next straight with DRS, and it should be quite easily done here for Joe. DRS should help him. And it's not going to help him as much as I thought it would, and he's not got in front. As El Truco is going to hang on to second by a literal thread. No penalties in the race whatsoever. And El Truco is still 0.3 of a second. Look, Joe's going to constantly looking for a place to make the move. Everyone else just sat too far out of range. Bouma by the end of the race might be able to get in range of Adam for fourth. Joe is literally on the back. He could not be any closer to Truco if he tried through Castle. And Truco got all out of sorts at the end of Castle, so it looked like Joe might be able to take advantage here instead. He's going to try it. Or he's not going to try it. He backed out of it. Looking at the next couple of straights as DRS zones where he should be able to make that work without much effort at all. But he is running out of time. Certainly isn't going to catch Alu, so Joe's going to win this race. He's going to need the Alu and Stel collision earlier to produce something. Here we go, slipstream with DRS. So we've got Joe down the inside as we currently have an AlphaTauri 1-2. And El Truco has had such a great race in that Red Bull. Just wasn't able to hang on for long enough. At the end of the day, he probably still gets a podium spot. But it's going to be the lowest step at this rate. Unless he can get a Joe at some point in the last couple of corners here. Bouma and Adam going at it. Boomer's going to get in front. The position changed toward the back there. It looked like Stel got past on Major for the 10th spot on the grid. It's 0.3 of a second now between Adam and Bouma. These two are going at it. Truco's not giving up in the fight between him and Joe, and Castle is either going to end his chance or help it drastically. It's going to end Truco's chance of winning the getting second. Sorry, Joe needed another couple of laps, as he currently sits 2.3 seconds behind the AlphaTauri of Alu today. As Truco still 0.8 of a second back. Adam 0.4, 0.3. These two going at it right at the end. But before we can see that battle, I think we have to watch this one. Well, this battle is non-existent, but we're going to have to watch Alu over the line, and Alu wins in Azerbaijan. Joe coming over in second. Truco's going to get the final step on the podium, and Boom is soft to too much for Adam in the end as he comes over in fourth, and there wasn't a single penalty in the entire race. Ross going to come over in sixth. Jack in seventh. Donnie comes over in eighth. Swem's going to come over in ninth as he's not been challenged by anybody. And Stel's going to come over in 10th after a lack of a challenge. Major just slipped off the back very quickly there. Major's going to come 11th, Noof 12th. Which is a decent high finish for Noof, as he usually has a nightmare in these races. Here we go, we've got one more battle. Twanak on 5 lap old mediums versus Staber on the softs, right to the line. And Staber's just going to take it. The game's going to say that Twanak's ended 13th, but I don't think this game's... He's not even going to tell me there's a time difference between them, but he has got the arrow pointing up for Staber, so I'm pretty sure Staber got it. I didn't see a penalty for anyone at all in the entire race. Robin has finished the race with no front wing. And Luke, over the line right at the end, has got no front wing as well. Can you not, Luke? Can you not? Can there you go. And that's it. And that is that. We got an AlphaTauri 1-2. As though Truco gets on the final step of the podium. And that is the end of sprint for today. That gives you your final positions. It looked like people were driving 16th place, had a good day. Alu wins here, did well, got driver of the day in America. Joe won in America, and from second to last to second in the race here in Azerbaijan. It's a very, very good day there for Joe. And I think that's it. I think let the lobby end here, and I'm gonna end the stream. End the stream here. Back on Thursday for Tier 1. Find out the track 90 minutes before we start. But apart from that, in a bit.